One last thing I'd like to mention. On the TexasSuicidePrevention.org website, we have a video series entitled Stories of Hope and Help. You can view these videos, download and attach them to your website, or send them to others. The videos relate real-life stories of students, soldiers, and families all doing the right thing, getting help for themselves or someone else. Today, I'd like to share one of these stories with you, a story of a young man who actually went through this same training. After the class, he went home, and several weeks later, he had a friend in trouble. He did everything we talked about today. He asked the question, he sought more information, intervened, referred, and got the person the help he needed. Let's hear his story, in his own words, of how he used the same tools that we learned here today to save a life.
My name is Kurt, and 2 weeks ago I completed my undergraduate degree, and in 3 days I'll be starting grad school. I really enjoy just hanging out with friends, and I read a lot for school and outside of school, and I do a lot of volunteering. I moved here and trying to meet some friends, so met some people here in the community, and one weekend we were at a friend's apartment just hanging out, having a good time, being, typical summer college students. And some of us are outside hanging out and talking about college and our semesters and getting started. And a friend of a friend who I didn't know very well started saying, I don't see myself having a future. I don't see myself living very long. I cannot see myself having a profession or a job or a family. It was really an odd statement for us, and we began to ask him, questions about where this was all coming from. We thought, is there something that, we should know? Are you sick? Is there something that you haven't told me? It began to dawn on us that it might be that he was thinking about taking his life. With that in mind, I asked him and I said, have you thought about suicide? And he didn't say yes and he didn't say no. And that stood out to me. Well, we had to decide for ourselves what action we wanted to take. And we knew we weren't prepared to help him, but we knew a social worker who would be. And so we said, we need to call her. And that was a little scary because, this is late at night, it's the weekend, and we're gonna be really taking her, on her personal time. But at the same time, we had his life to consider, and we said, nothing outweighed the value of his life. Nothing was more valuable than that. So we said, we're making the call. So while we stayed talking to our friend, one of my friends made the phone call to the social worker, told her what was going on, and said, this is what's happening. And she said, put him on the phone. She walked him through the situation. She got him connected with supportive services, and we stayed with him that night, and we didn't leave him alone. And after that, he got connected to those supportive services. Some of the pressures that he was facing was related to his sexual orientation. He was gay, and he had experienced bullying in high school, and reached out and got certain social supports, and he was about to lose them and move on to another part of his life without those social supports. So that was a really crucial time for him, and I wasn't even aware of that. And most of us, as far as I know, weren't aware of that. But we heard the signs, we saw the signs, we made the call for help, and we referred him, and he's alive today. And I see him around and, touch base with him from time to time, and he's doing well and pursuing his dreams and really becoming an amazing individual. Don't ignore the warning signs of suicide or be scared to get a friend help. Take action now and call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255.